We are Team Bono, and we are working with Shehu on fighting hunger. My name is Christopher Carl.
My name is Gregory Boudreau. My name is Christian Carpenter.
My name is Mark Solaro.
Theodore Roosevelt once said, "All it takes is one idea to solve an impossible problem." Our business partner, Shehu, has encountered some of these seemingly impossible problems. He has come across multiple drastic problems that is hurting his business and ability to help himself and his community. My name is Christopher Carl, and I live in Connecticut, representing Team Bono, our business partner Shehu, and his fish farming business. It has come to our attention that the high mortality rate of Shehu's fish is his main problem. While this problem does seem impossible to solve, my group has found a solution. The solution we have come up with to present to you today will decrease the chlorine in the water, reduce the bacteria and infection, boost the immune system of the fish, and allow for a longer lifespan of the fish, hence reducing its mortality rate. To tell you about the solution we have come up with, I will introduce my colleague, Gregory from Austin, Texas.
As my partner has previously stated, all it takes is one idea to solve an impossible problem. Shehu's seemingly impossible problem can be solved by one simple idea, and that is salt. Sea salt, put into fresh water, can have similar sterilizing effects that have been proven to work time and time again. The main fish found in the fish farm are African shark-toothed catfish and tilapia, both of which can handle moderate levels of salt. The effectiveness of the sea salt is shown by the incredible traits that it possesses, which include taking the chlorine out of the water and reducing the spread of disease and parasitic organisms in the water. The sea salt has the potential to do more work than most filters can ever do. The fish are in a dire need of help. We have found a way to cure the diseases and limit the spread of infection, effectively decreasing the mortality rate from 45% to an acceptable level. Now, we can't possibly change an entire environment without a series of post-tests and experiments, so that we can prove our hypothesis valid and make sure that everything that performs to the best of its abilities and doesn't have the negative side effects that could potentially happen. The last part of my speech, my partner Christian will explain the layout of our testing process, which consists of the testing of the water and the impact on the individual fish. One of the other sounding benefits of sea salt is, as I said before, the ability to remove chlorine and other harmful toxins and chemicals that are hurting the health of the juvenile fish. By putting the salt in the overhead tank, you can see the salt dilute the water and form chemical bonds with the chlorine. Additionally, removing this chlorine allows for more oxygen to be put in the water, hence allowing for better fish health. With that same concept, one other thing is very true, and that is the removal of a primitive source of bacteria from ponds. The bacteria that forms on the catfish in the tanks is usually anaerobic, so the increased salinity in the water combined with the increased oxygen will kill off a major part of the harmful bacteria impacting the fish. With the removal of the bacteria in the water, we will see the rate of infection lessen, allowing for an optimal amount of life in the farm. With these details in mind, it is my pleasure to introduce my colleague Christian to talk to you about the experiments and trials.
As my partner says today, we cannot put any idea into effect, no matter how safe it is, when thousands of lives are on the line. Because we value the life that she who produces in this farm and what it does for its community. We plan on implementing a series of experiments to justify to our partner, ourselves, and the community that our plans are in fact work. The first trial we will be implementing is at the penguin size, where the fish have the highest mortality rate. In order to ensure that the salt will not cause adverse reactions, we would put 5 to 10 penguins in a plastic container and put the appropriate amount of sea salt in based on the size of the said container. We'd observe them in the tank on a normal feeding and temperature for 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month. If they survive and there are no noticeable effects, they will be put back and the second group will be tested. At this stage, we would take 5 of the juvenile fish and have them undergo the same procedure. Stay in the container for 1 day, 1 week, and 1 month on normal conditions and monitor the results and compare them with the normal fish. Then we would do the same with adolescent fish and adult fish and monitor their results. If all goes well, then we would test the positive effects of the salt by putting infected fish into a container and have them stay in the container for 1 week and 1 month to see if they survive. More importantly, if the infection heals as it is supposed to, we can prove to Shehu the medicinal benefits the salt has to the fish. In an effort to show why the sea salt will be beneficial, both economically and physically, I use my partner, Mark, for
From the moment we met Shehu at our first business call, we knew he was a special man. When asked upon what he likes about his business, he told us time and time again two very important things. To see the birth of his new hatchlings and to be able to donate food back to his community. Shehu has been losing money time and time again every breeding season because of the high mortality rate within his fish farm. These fish are dying due to previously listed reasons, and that money is being taken from his community and from all the people that could depend on his fish. Based on research and discussions with Shehu and his translator, we have deducted that he is losing up to 45% of the hatchlings he produces. The fish have disease, and because there are so many of them, the disease spreads like wildfire, affecting almost half the population. Because of that half the population, Shehu is losing over 35,000 naira, which is a large amount of money. One of the things that stood out to him when we presented him the information was that the fact that he was losing the opportunity to give back to his community. For years and dozens of breeding periods, Shehu has lost hundreds of thousands of naira that he could have given back to the less fortunate. Now, I'm going to present to you what the salt itself is going to do with the help of that number. The sea salt has been clinically proven by multiple effects that the addition of sea salt into a freshwater pond could reduce bacteria spread by over 75%. At the same time, it could boost the catfish's immunity system by 2 times and kill harmful bacteria that is affecting the fish and could lead to death. If we look at these numbers, we see that the fish have a much better chance of survival with the salt in the water. Now, the increase in revenue based off of what money he is making by selling the newly surviving population could be to buy new indoor plastic tanks to stop this problem for the population in the long run. In the short run, it can be used to donate back to his community and to help the fish survive at a much higher rate. Now, to show you how much sea salt Shehu would need to implement our idea, I'm going to present you with one last piece of information. To make it successful and not harm the fish, Shehu would have to put in 15 grams for every 11 liters of water, or 1 tablespoon for every 3 gallons, coming out to about $220 US for 5 rotations of water lasting almost half a year. This fits perfectly within our budget, but it also fits in one more category. These catfish, as Antilapia, as previously mentioned, need to be in a water that is less than a 0.5 salinity. The solution we are providing to you would be at a 0.15 salinity, high enough to make sure it is effective, but not so high that it harms the fish. So along with the trials and making it in a safe environment, we could see that these fish will be impacted in a great way.
Finally, there's one last piece of information that is extremely important for you to know. Catfish that is found in Shehu's farm is the African shark-tooth catfish, as I already said. This fish is part of the Claridae family, which is known for the interesting characteristic of being able to breathe from the air and walk on land. Our partner Shehu had been incorrectly informed due to a common misunderstanding that this was a signal of low oxygen in the water, and used this information to justify refilling the water and changing it more than he needed to. By doing this, he was wasting water and putting unnecessary stress on the fish. The ideas we are proposing focus not only on the benefits of salt, but rather on how creating a knowledgeable environment conducive to learning is the key to expanding Shehu's business, both economically